everybody. Welcome to Grace and Fire. I am so excited about today's show. I have the ladies from the official Lynn show. And as you know, these ladies hold a very special spot in my heart. One is my mother and one is my aunt. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my aunt first. Hey, Aunt Lynn. I did it a little backwards. And
Thank you. Thank
we're going to bring
you.
in my mother and and the phone is ringing.
Perfect timing. Perfect
That
timing.
never fails. It never
Yes, never
fails.
fails.
So before we get started, I just want to let you know that this is a premiere and we are streaming not only from Grace and Fire, but we're also streaming from the official Lynn show. Woo! Ooh, I love that mug. You both have your mugs. That's awesome. I do not. I have my water. But anyhow, make sure that you go to both channels and just hit that like button and feel free to interact with us. We're both in the chats. And so anyhow, without further ado, I am so excited to have both of you guys on the channel. Again, you've been on, but I've never done an official interview. So this is a lot of fun for me.
Well, you might find out some stuff you don't want to know.
That's right. Only on Grace and Fire, we're going to find out things.
Oh, my.
That's right.
Okay.
So first off, I want you guys to tell my audience, you guys are both real sisters.
Mm-hmm.
We are.
Yep, yep. And what's the age difference between the two of you? Not your ages, but your age difference.
5 years.
Ooh. 5 years. All right. Who's older?
I am.
Who's younger? That's
who drew their Social Security first?
She did.
That's the way to do it.
Who retired first?
Me. Me, I think.
I retired.
I was 55.
9 years ago. I retired officially 9 years ago.
Wow.
Well, I guess I did first.
Okay. Oh.
Wow. So 5 years difference and she retires first.
Yes.
That's awesome. So I want to hear more about your channel and I want to know when did you guys start your channel?
Well, our anniversary date is January the 9th.
Okay.
And this year it'll be 4 years.
Yes.
Yeah, 4 years, right, Lynn? 4 years.
You say so.
Yeah.
Wow, that has flown. And why did you guys start your channel?
For fun.
Yes, on a whim.
A whim.
Actually, do you want me to tell it, Anne?
Sure.
You correct me if I'm,
okay.
wrong. That's what sisters do. Our husbands went to a big show in a large city, and so we were train show. I started to say truck show, but it was model train show. And so I'm over at Anne's house, and the guys are out and about, and we kind of heard about YouTube, and I think we'd been watching a little bit of it, and Anne said, "Hey, let's sit down and let's do a YouTube video." And that's how we started, kind of green, totally green. Not that we're much more, but total green back then. Anne, you want to add anything to it?
No, that's it. Pretty much. We just started like that, and we, told our family and kids and friends to watch, and we started out with a handful, and before you know it, we grew a little bit, and hopefully in the next year we'll grow some more. And but the idea is just to have fun, right?
And speaking of fun, I kind of was going back through some of your videos that you have posted.
Oh,
passed,
Ooh,
and
I wondered.
Oh,
I had a little refresher course. Of course, I remember when you guys started the channel,
okay.
but I had a nice little refresher course on some of the fun things you guys have done through the years, and I want to talk about Grandma's Gravy, the
All
Oh,
right.
video.
Actually, my son who wrote Grandma's Gravy, based on true story, actually is in the house today. Of all things, he's actually here. He's actually here. So, what do you want to know about Grandma's Gravy?
So tell us a little bit about the history of the song.
Okay,
I think our viewers need to know a little bit about it because I think it's got a good story.
it's funny. Now, Anne, you kind of helped refresh my memory too, because I've slept since then. But basically, I think our
well,
son had, I want to
he had
say that on a
he
diet.
well,
Even
he no,
what?
no, no, no. He wrote this song, and I
Yes.
contacted him and I said, "Do you think I could make a music video out of that? Would you give me permission to have your me and your mom and dad make this music video?" And he goes, "Sure." So then we played it out. You
Yes,
played it
but
out.
the original
Mhm.
song was based on the fact he had not been eating very much food, all right? No greasy food. I think that's kind of how it started. And he spent the night at our parents' house. And the next morning,
Mhm.
our mom got up and she made biscuits. We make sausage gravy down here, and we're not total South, but in our
Or
part of the
bacon
woods.
gravy.
This
Make
was
bacon
sausage
gravy.
gravy, right? And
Okay.
because he'd been like keeping out fats out of his diet. When he had that good old biscuits and gravy, well, you know what goes through you eventually really
What you
fast.
eat comes back out. Yeah,
Yes, and it came back out in such a way that it wasn't funny at the time,
right.
but
He
they'll
had to
have to watch the video to see what happened to my son. And anyway,
so
and so that's when Anne said, "Hey, this would be a great video."
hilarious video.
So
So
my husband, cameraman of the official Ann Lynn show, he plays the part of our son, and
mhm.
I kind of play the part of, I don't know, I
An
guess
old
a
grandma.
grandma. Yeah. So
Yeah. So
thank
it's
you,
funny.
Belinda.
It's
It's
funny.
one of the funniest ones. We've had a lot of views, and the song is actually for sale. I think it's, I don't even know,
It's on
iTunes.
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 And
And
so yeah, I'm not
tell
sure
them the
if it's
story about how when we play it, what happens,
oh,
what
we
can
get a hit
happen.
with the copyright thing every time. And I keep telling YouTube we have permission. We showed
We
the
have it in writing,
documents.
right?
Well, we have it in writing, and they so
Yeah,
anyhow, yeah, we need to pursue I have to pursue that
yeah,
further.
because it
Yeah.
needs to be up. If it's not
Yeah,
up,
it's funny.
it's funny.
It is funny.
And
It is
then
funny.
Mhm.
one time, Ann and I decided to do a grandma rap. Now, grandma's rap is up. It's
Yeah, oh,
always
that's on our
opening,
if you visit our channel, it's right there.
That was
right? Grandma.
actually my next question was about
Oh,
granny wrap is what it's
mhm.
called.
Yeah.
I cannot believe my mom and my aunt are rapping on YouTube, and it brings me so much joy, and it's a lot of fun to watch. And
Well,
so I want to know why in the world
well, Ann
did
wrote it.
you
Ann
what
wrote it.
what is the inspiration? Where
What
did
was
this
it,
come
Ann?
from? I mean, it's a
So it
great
was
video.
I think I've been watching a show with the rapper that wears the clocks around his neck.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, gosh, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his
yeah.
name,
But we
Yeah.
love LL Cool J.
No, it's not him. It's
but
not
it's
No,
not
LL.
him.
I'm
No, no,
not
no,
saying
no.
it's him,
It's the
okay?
rapper that
I'm
wears the
saying we
clocks.
love, uh-huh.
Oh yeah. But anyhow, yeah, I'd been watching a show. It was a reality show he'd been in. I guess that was stuck in my mind. And anyhow, I just thought it would be fun if we did a rap. And so I wrote these words and then I got with your son
My son,
and I said, I need help. Can you do the music for this? And I said, I want a beat like this, however it was. And he said, "Sure." So he had a thing to do it with, and so he did it, and we put together. And what was really hard, I had just the music because I didn't have Lynn with me. So her and I had to record the words, and then I had to put the music with it,
Right.
marry them together, and trying to get that timing right when you said, "My name is Lynn," and I had to get that music just right so it came out, and so it wasn't like a Japanese movie. It's like, yes, I said yes. So yeah, that was quite a little project, but it was a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah.
So I guess, Glinda, that's kind of how the Ann Lynn show started. We started just having fun. We are aware of what's going out in the world. We know. Ann and I are very up to date on events. And we just decided we wanted to have somewhere where people could come over, let their hair down, put their feet up, get a cup of coffee, and just take some of that pressure off. Just relax for a few minutes with us. And so we really started out just doing holidays, and we dressed for every occasion.
Just
Fourth of
silly
July,
ones too.
silly. We did. We were both tooth fairies.
Yes, I remember the tooth fairies.
Yeah,
So
that's still there, and
it's still there. Yeah, you can watch. Yeah,
we
and then
dressed up,
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
that was
fun.
us. Yeah.
Yep.
We've been cheerleaders. We've been, you name it, and we
Bees.
probably have done it. We've been,
We wore
bees.
bees for
I
Bees was
remember
Halloween.
that
funny.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
that
Yes.
that
was
was
a good
like a
one.
PSA for Halloween,
Yeah,
be careful, be
yeah,
buzz.
you know, be
And
sure to, look both ways,
yeah, be
bees,
sure,
yeah.
yeah. And we did a little short Western.
I was
Oh,
going to ask you about the
yes.
Western. I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about that.
Oh my.
Lone Rider. I think
On
that's what
a
I called it.
riding lawnmower,
Yeah, I
not
dressed
a
up my
horse,
no,
a
I
riding
dressed up my
lawnmower.
lawnmower, and so I'm just, bebopping through the country, enjoying the view, and all of a sudden a guy jumps out of the brush and holds me up and takes my lawnmower, and
Tries
then
to.
tries to, well, yeah,
Tries
tries to. I give him a little, you know,
Well, you yelled, "Sheriff,
sheriff,
sheriff,"
sheriff,
and
and here come the sheriff, Sheriff Lynn. And so anyhow, it's cute. I think it's cute too. We've done 4th of July.
mhm,
Um,
mhm. Of course,
well,
we've done
everything. Huh?
everything, every
Yeah.
holiday, every
And
little and little individual holidays.
oh yeah, look up what is this day? What is that? You just say,
So
okay,
I
we're gonna film. Wonder what there was on that day.
and then
Donut
we
day.
changed yeah, and then we changed directions
Right. And
and,
you guys
our
started interviewing,
interviewing people. Yes, we
and it's
started
you started
in
with family actually.
uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes, I
Yeah.
have a record of the interviews in a file, and trust me, we've done dozens of interviews with
Yeah.
people from every kind of, if
Every
uh,
walk of life.
every walk of life. Can I just say, I was in getting my hair trimmed in my beauty shop, and there was a lady in the beauty shop, and she heard me talking to my hairdresser, about the channel and some of the programs, and I said, we're just looking for people who have a story. I mean, that's all we are. We're just there. And this lady getting her hair done, she just looks up and says, I have a story. And that's how some of our interviews came along. It was people who just heard that they had, if you have a story, come and share it with us. And she had a
Awesome.
tragic story that turned into good out of tragedy. And so you just never know, do we, Glenda? What people, not every person has a sad story.
Right.
Lots of
There's a
uplifting
lot of
people.
inspiring stories out
Thank you,
there and
thank you.
things that people are doing that is um
Yes,
gives you inspiration for maybe your own life. And
yes.
I think that that's what I really appreciate about you guys is what are we timing out for?
So it's been raining all day, and
Yes.
Yes.
right now the sun is there's a the windows are over here, and the sun is, and look, I'm
You
fading
look
away.
glowing.
You
You're
look
glowing.
beautiful.
We're
Just face
talking
it, we're
about
I'm glowing.
inspiration, and
It's
look at
like
you.
I'm
You're
glowing.
glowing.
There, I mean, I can't
I
believe it.
mean, I
It
knew
has
that you
been
loved
raining
inspiration.
all, huh?
I know you love that inspiration. Look at that glow. Look
I
at that. That
know, but
inspiration
that
is so
sunlight
recent.
was just, it was like a sunbeam coming in the windows there, and I'm like, I'm watching myself kind of
glow.
start
It's
glow.
okay. You're glowing. We're talking about inspiration. What a perfect
Inspiration.
timing for that.
So,
I
I
mean,
know,
sometimes
wasn't that
we need
funny?
that reminder from
We have
God, and the
yes,
heavens were shining down. I
Sunbeam
mean,
just broke through the clouds, and I mean filled this room.
we saw it.
yeah,
It went it
I
went poof.
know. I
that's
know.
it. That's
Anyhow,
it. And
anyhow,
you
that's
guys are an inspiration to so
Oh,
aw.
many. And
thank
speaking
you.
of inspiration and the heavens, I really appreciated, Mom, you did God's promises for you.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
And
still out there.
I'll tell you what, if you guys just need a quick pick me up, go back through their history and
Here comes the
just watch.
sunbeam.
See, we're talking about this.
Oh, I'm
Yes,
glowing.
there she goes. She's glowing. It's
It's the
okay.
sunbeam. Oh,
No,
isn't
it's
that
God's
funny?
promises for you now that we're talking about.
Yeah,
So,
how about that?
I am so appreciative for those. And I know
Mhm.
that it's blessed other people. You had
I hope
a
so.
couple of people that have reached out to you, if I'm not mistaken. Casey at Ormsby Farms. That's
Yes.
actually how he met you, was through God's promises for you. He had been watching those. And you've had a few other people who have just said, I needed that, just that
Yes.
little bit of,
Yes.
We have.
reminder, and what an inspiration. So if you have not checked out the God's promises for you,
Thank you, Glenda.
go back and check those out. It's just a couple of minutes of your day. That's all it takes. It's just like a nugget. Grandpa always talked about, you just need sometimes a little nugget.
Nugget from
Sure.
God's word. That's right. Nugget from the
That's it.
a word from the word can change your life. And like you said, Glenda, there were people who contacted us and said that I you just don't know how I needed that today. You do not know. And we had one gentleman that said he was so depressed if he
Mhm.
had have come across us by accident that his life was going to change. But
He
he
wasn't gonna have a life.
he
Yeah.
wasn't, no, and so
Mm-mm.
that happened once, and, maybe twice,
Mhm.
I think, and, so, you never know,
You never know.
you can affect people in a good way, and
Sure.
that's we just wanna lift up people. We just wanna be uplifting.
I
And
think
speaking of uplifting,
Yes.
let's talk about Mama.
Well,
while you do that, I'm gonna adjust this
You
because
go right
okay,
ahead.
light
You go right ahead.
beams.
I'm going to take you out for just a
Oh,
second. There we go. We're going to
alright.
talk
Oh,
about
thank you.
Mama right
Well,
now while Mom fixes her lights.
actually, Anne thought Memo was gonna be here today, but I had not spoken to you about inviting Memo on, and since she's such a force to be reckoned with, I thought maybe it'd be best if Memo just went ahead and stayed in the room today.
So we locked her up or something, poor
Yeah, we just
Mama.
locked her up. Well,
Just
I
locked
just
up and
locked
put
her up.
away. Well, Mama's
But,
always welcome on Grace and Fire. So
but
anytime Mama wants
Memo Memo is just a character I've done all my life. And she actually just has a mind of her own, and she is a good woman, good Christian woman. She don't cuss and swear, but she fusses.
she fusses a little. She doesn't cuss or swear, but she fusses a little
She
bit.
fusses. uh, I think that one of my favorite episodes favorite is when I found an outhouse in a field a couple years ago, year and a half or so ago. And Kimmerman and I went out to that field, and I trespassed, and I went to the old outhouse, and I did an episode as Memo in the old from the old outhouse. That was one of my favorite ones. Memo
Oh,
started to do a Bigfoot episode once. Someday, I believe that Memo will finish the Bigfoot episode.
oh, I think she should. I
But
absolutely
she's
think
just
she
a
should.
character that I've had for, many, many, many years.
Maybelle.
Oh, Maybelle is her sister, and Maybelle, excuse me, not Maybelle.
Forgot about her
Her name is
That's
sister.
her
Yeah.
name. She
her
decided
name
she
is
wanted to
Maybelle,
be called Maybelle.
right.
Mm.
But, you
Mama
know
said,
you know her.
hey, you know what I got to thinking?
But
Hmm.
Gladys is her sister.
I
Gladys
was
That's
gonna say I
Gladys.
forgot about her sister.
That's
Yes,
Gladys is
Gladys.
Gladys and Maybelle. Or
Gladys
for
could
those of
be.
us that have been around, it's Mama and Gladys. Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
But you know what this means?
Hmm.
So if we count Mama and then Grandma and
Mhm.
then me and then you and
And
then
then
your son and
Yes.
then your grandchild,
grandbaby. Yes.
that's 6 generations.
It
Well,
is
we
6.
actually have 5.
We have 5 living.
But if
I
we
Yes.
call
said if we
Mamaw
were
if we no, we
counting
call Mamaw,
Mamaw.
we
If
have 6.
But yes, but really, you guys, we have 5 generations
Yes,
alive in our
we
family.
do.
That is a true story. And at Thanksgiving, we had 5 generations under one roof for
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And that was a lot of fun. And we took those family photos to make sure that we got them. And we did them each by generation with my own grandmother
Yes.
always in each shot.
Yes.
So
Yeah, but we're
we
gonna really do it with me really there.
Well, we
Yes.
will do the official
Soon.
5 photo, 5
Soon.
generation photo,
I
but
can't wait.
it's gonna
Huh?
be
Yeah.
amazing. You have
In
not
about a
met her
month.
yet? Yes, you
Mhm.
have not met her, so
Mhm.
it is a little girl, so she gets to meet her great-grandmother, and we are really excited
And
about
I
that.
think I was thinking, you know what, it came to me today instead of Granny, because I said she's like now I have one granddaughter that occasionally calls me that, and then she giggles, you know.
Right.
And I
Right.
tell her, "You can't
Giggles.
call me that," you know. But, I think, it was like, Gram Gram. Is there a Gram
Gram
Gram? Huh?
No, there's no Gram Gram.
How
I
about Gram
believe
Gram?
it's Mama is the other grandmother, which
Yes.
is my
Oh, she's
daughter-in-law.
Mama?
Yeah, my daughter-in-law's mom is Mama, and I
Okay.
don't know the rest of the names. I just
Well,
know
I'm
I'm
claiming Gram Gram.
Gram. Okay, I'm
Um,
Gigi,
I'm
so
Gram
that's for
Gram.
Grandma Glenda. So Gigi,
and
um,
I'm an Aunt Lynn.
your Aunt Lynn.
Aunt Lynn.
Aunt Lynn.
Yes, and I cannot wait for you to meet her. She is, as I like to tell people, she's yummy, and she's getting big. So that's
I'll be
coming
there to
soon.
see her.
Yep.
I may take
Yes,
her home with me.
you might have a problem with her
I might
parents.
stick her in the car.
Her parents
Yeah,
might beg to differ.
they would get mad.
Well, speaking of
Mm,
greats, I now have a new member in my family.
yes, you do.
Ooh.
Yes, you
And
absolutely do.
I can make the announcement that I have a great cat.
Yes, you
I
do.
have a great cat. I
Oh,
am
yeah,
grandma.
you're great cats. You're grandma cat.
I am grandma.
Cat
And
grandma. You're cat grandma.
well,
That
no,
counts.
I just tell my new little grandcat to call me grandma. Because that's
Oh,
what I say. I say, "Do you wanna come sit on grandma's lap? You want
What's her
grandma's
name?
Snow."
Snow.
oh.
And she is identical to a cat that I used to have whose name was Pepper. I want to call her Pepper. She
Oh,
looks
does she look like Pepper?
identical to
Yes,
Pepper,
she does look like Pepper.
just like Pepper,
Oh,
but her name is Snow, and I call her
Pepper.
and she likes Snow Baby, so that's what we call her.
Is
When
she
you say,
getting more used to you now?
"Oh, let me say this. Yesterday, she and I were alone all afternoon until evening. And I had to run some errands, and then I made sure I came home as quick as I could. And she's been in one of our bathrooms. Okay. She has everything, food, water, everything, her blanket.
Right. Well,
And
you're
I said,
not giving her free reign at the
no, no,
beginning because
just
she's
that was
new to
just
the house.
she's only been to our home one night, okay?
Yeah.
So not
Yeah.
yet, right?
Right.
But yesterday, I just said, "You know what? I'm gonna let her have free reign." And she went
Mhm.
to my bedroom, which is at the front of our home, and she got under the bed. And I just started just I know, I don't care what anyone says out there. I know. Call me crazy. I don't care. I asked the Lord to speak to her and tell her, as only He
Mhm.
can, that she is safe and
Yes.
loved and has a home. And
Mhm.
I'm telling you, we turned the corner last night, and
Oh.
now she is our cat. She is cameraman's cat, my cat. Our son's here, and she has full run of the house, everyone. Okay. She has full run of the house. She's
Mhm.
had no accident. She uses her cat litter.
Good.
And so I
Good.
talked to our mother today, and our mom said, I'm so glad that you have a cat in your home again because we lost our cat Alexander at 19 years old and last year. And so this is so I have to say I'm so silly. Um I went to Hobby Lobby and they had ornaments on sale and they have a pet ornament and
Oh.
it's a clear round bubble. And so we took a picture of her and it was sent to me and I printed it off. And so she has her own ornament with her
Oh,
picture
that's
in it.
cute. Well,
Oh,
you
I love
have to
that.
get her a Christmas present.
Oh, definitely.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
I have Alexander's stocking that's got the cat on it and the fish and all that. So
Aw.
I
So
know
let's
it's silly.
no, we're okay. So I want to address that real quick. This is not silly.
Oh,
We are a pet family,
Yes,
yes,
we
we
are.
are.
and
Pet
we
friendly.
know that pets that come to this family, doesn't matter whose house it is, they are spoiled rotten, and it's the way that it's supposed to be. And people say I'm silly with my chickens and I spoil my girls
Oh,
rotten, but you know what? I don't care.
Yeah,
Those are
oh,
no.
my
dog.
girls. And it goes the same thing with cats and it goes with dogs. And so no more silliness. I love it.
Well,
I love everything about that story.
everyone out there, I want you to know that Glinda always buys our animals a gift every year.
Mhm.
Alexander received a present every year from Glinda and her husband.
Now I've got to get
Aw.
Snow one. That's gonna be my mission.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Anyway, it's
I
nice to have
bought
an animal here. Mhm.
yes. Well,
And then
we don't have a
oh, go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You don't have.
We don't currently have an animal,
Correct.
but
Hmm.
I have been buying. I buy every Christmas for our neighbor's dog.
Yes.
Oh, I love
What
that.
type of doggy does she have? I know you just adore her.
Yeah, him. His name is
Him.
Him.
Bentley.
Yep.
Bentley.
Bentley. Bentley.
Well, he's a special breed, and I cannot remember what he
Is he
is.
small? Is he
He's
small or
he's
medium?
no, he's medium. He's
Medium.
probably 40 pounds, 35, 40 pounds, and he has hair like a doodle.
Yeah, he's a
And he's
doodle.
trimmed real short, but yet he's got a Scottish terrier look to him. Does
Okay.
that make sense? So
Yes.
I really don't know. I can't remember. I have to ask again because I always forget. It's a special breed, and he loves us, and they
Uh,
live like directly across the street. And when like if you see him out and about, he's
yeah.
like he's on his leash. They walk him and stuff, and he's like leaping towards us, because he
Oh.
loves me and Dave. And, yeah, I would in a heartbeat take him, especially now they've broke him and everything.
Yeah. The work is
Right,
done,
all that
right?
I think he's over a year now, so he's gotten through all that yucky stuff, but,
Hard
um,
stuff.
the hard
Yes.
stuff,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
and, but, yeah, they're really having to walk him because 'cause they're having some remodeling done in their backyard, it's all tore up, so they have to really walk him. But, anyhow, Bentley is getting a big bag of treats this year.
Mm.
Oh, how
And
wonderful.
yeah,
How
and I
wonderful.
always buy him a card, a Christmas card just for a dog. So,
Aw. Well, the dogs in my family are going to get freeze-dried liver that I'm
ah,
Yes.
going to freeze dry. I will figure out something for Snow since that's the only cat.
Okay.
Um, And then I have 4 grand guinea pigs, so I'll probably
What? Do you get a guinea pig?
some apples and strawberries that are freeze dried. So I'll pull a couple bags and I'll send those down with that one. And so, yeah, there's 2 little boys and 2 little girls, and they are kept separate. The boys just went to the vet and they got cleared to have surgery, so they will be fixed.
Oh, I didn't know that was the thing for guinea pigs.
I didn't either.
We had one when you were a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
We had Wally. His name was Wally. Wally, he was big. And he knew when you opened the refrigerator, didn't he? He would squeak.
He did. He did.
And so I would give him carrots and lettuce. He loved lettuce and carrots. So, yeah, and guinea pig food. But we had him a long time. We moved
about 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. It seems
at
like it was
least
about 5. Mm-hmm.
We had him when we moved, to where you to
mm-hmm. Yeah, he moved a couple
to
of
the Midwest.
Yeah, he moved a couple of times. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he sure did.
He got huge.
He did, but he was also very much spoiled and loved.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Just if nothing else, we love our animals to pieces, don't we?
We do.
We spoil them to pieces.
We do. And on the day that this is filming, the reason we're doing it later is because I do have to take one of our dogs to the vet for a procedure. We unfortunately have to figure out what's going on with this one. We're praying that it's going to be a simple fix.
Yes.
But yeah, so we are dealing with that. So that's why this is being aired a little bit later in the day, so I can take care of this fur baby. We do get top-notch medical care for the dog. So yeah. So anyhow,
we're live in the chat. So
we are live in the chat.
We're live in the chat.
Hi. Yes.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to see you.
Glad you're here.
Mm-hmm. We're glad you're here.
Yes.
We just love Glinda's people. We just love each one of you. You're just special and precious. I tell you, I enjoy your videos, Miss Glinda.
Oh.
I just love them. I think they are just top-notch videography.
Very professional. I mean,
professional. But
you took it.
Enjoy your content though.
You started here, and you're like way up.
You have surpassed us by leaps and bounds.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sorry, and you've done beautiful. You know that. But
yeah.
I'm just saying it's nice to see your daughter do even better, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Succeed tremendously. And I will say your freeze dryer. Now, y'all, I've had the opportunity to have some of these freeze dried goodies, and I will call them goodies. Oh my gosh. You did the not the pumpkin marshmallow. I mean, I know you did pumpkin marshmallow.
I did pumpkin marshmallows.
You did those. And candy corn was, I have to say, that was like, I put it in my hot chocolate, but a few of them made it directly to my mouth, and aren't they delicious?
Oh, now, Lynn.
But whenever the thing you have to remember when
I'm gonna scold you.
No, don't do that, because when you freeze dry it, it actually gets bigger and you eat less.
Oh, does it take the calories out?
No, but you eat less. So if you're craving that, you may only want like 3 or 4 versus like 20 of them. You know what I mean? And you have to kind of keep that in mind. So if you're craving that sweet, you are human. We are all human.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you just want that sweet. Yes, and you too, Mom. So don't get after Aunt Lynn. I feel that way. Even like with strawberries, it kind of blows it up a little bit. Bananas, it does too.
Oh, the bananas, everything that I've had. Your apple chips, the apple slices.
Oh, yeah. In fact, that's actually at the timing of this filming. I have not only the freeze dryer going with apples, I also have the dehydrator going with apples right now at this time. Wow. Yes, and both of them are cinnamon. Just no sugar, just cinnamon on top. So
and I want to thank you. I'm sure. Who is okay, you had Noodle November,
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
and both of you have done your recipes. I mean, and they were fabulous. And I want to thank you though, Glinda, for dedicating your one video to our father, your
Mhm.
grandfather.
Noodle November
Um,
was dedicated. Mhm.
yes. Yeah, that was, I cried. It was beautiful, and I
Mhm.
appreciate that. That was just lovely. And
Yes.
what a delicious recipe, and simple and easy to make, but yet I know nutritious and delicious.
Mhm.
It really was good. You know, the for those who don't know, my grandfather, their dad, was stationed in Japan, and he was a phlebotomist, and he worked, correct? Phlebotomist?
Yeah.
Yes. And he worked solely with Japanese women, and he
Yes.
picked up the language fluently as a result while he was there. Whenever my husband and I moved to Japan, of course, many years later, I went into Japan thinking it was the country. Of course, think of the timing that he was there, you know. And what I got was the world's largest city. So it was
Yeah.
completely opposite. And
A
when
lot
I
happened in 40 years, didn't it?
quite a bit happened, exactly. And so
Mm.
when I came back to Japan, Grandpa asked me if I had picked up the language,
Mhm.
and I told him "Skoshi," and he was like, "Mm-mm," and then he'd speak Japanese to me, and
Yes.
I'm like, "I'm so sorry, Grandpa, the second language in Japan is English, and a lot of Americans don't know that." But I had the opportunity to teach English in my home, so I
Yes.
knew that it was the second language. But I got to cook for Grandpa
Mhm.
shortly after I moved back to
Mhm.
Indiana, and some of those recipes, you know, he got to try, and
Yes.
I remember him loving it. I made sushi one time, and I actually have a picture of him eating it. Uh,
Uh,
and my daughter was in the picture too, who was born over in Japan.
mhm.
So, you know, these recipes mean something to me. And whenever Noodle November came up, I went, oh, I know the perfect one. And then when I was sitting down and editing it, I really had thought about Grandpa. And he got, you know, at the beginning of the video, it starts out with Mount Fuji. We
Yes.
we
Yes.
both got to see Mount Fuji, and so I knew exactly how I was gonna start that video
Oh,
Oh, it
was
that's
was
with
nice.
that.
beautiful. It was
Mhm.
just beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yes.
beautifully done. You're doing
There
so
was one
well.
difference between you and your grandpa.
Mhm.
He went by ship,
Shit.
Mm.
An
He
and
old
sure
ship
did.
that took, oh
he
gosh, a
survived it.
month?
He
A
wasn't
month?
sure. He
He
had
got sick on
Yeah.
the ship. Yeah, he
ill.
got sick.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that story.
But then he got
Mhm.
over it, and and he said that the trip over the waves were just horrendous at times. You know, they'd be
Oh,
up
yeah.
and down and looking up at the water and down at the water. But you know, those they know what they're doing when they make those, right? And they went
They
right
sure
through
do.
there.
They sure do. And, you know, my husband went over because who went over before me because it was non-concurrent travel, which meant that I couldn't go with him initially.
Mhm.
He had
Right.
to go over and set up the house, and once that was taken care of, then my orders were cut. So then
Wow.
I got to fly into Narita, which was Tokyo. When I flew over there, I flew out of Chicago, so I went from Chicago straight into Narita. That was a 13-hour flight, and I don't, for those who are smokers, I don't mean to say it in the wrong way, but I'm allergic to cigarette smell. And at
Oh,
that
you could smoke
time,
then? Yeah, you could
yeah, at
smoke
the
then.
time, you could smoke on the plane. So for 13 hours, this gentleman was smoking like all the time. And then
Yes.
the other guy that was sitting next to me, he was Korean and he was eating kimchi. So
Oh,
so for 13 hours, I was
Oh,
between both of that, and I was so ill when the plane
so
landed.
miserable.
When I got off the plane and I saw my husband, he asked me, "Why aren't you happy to see me?" And I went, "I am." but I'm sick. How far is the trip home? And I remember going home and getting a shower, got everything off of me, and I thought I never want to smell kimchi again ever.
Yeah, it's
and
rotten cabbage.
Yep. And so I got a complete shower and I had to like go to bed. I mean, I was so nauseous from that flight. So I remember that one very well. And then when we came back to the United States, I had two under 2 years old that I was traveling with. And the youngest at that time was 6 weeks old. And we flew out of Narita. The airline that we flew on was fabulous. They were warming my bottle. They were
Oh,
making sure I had a changing table and all that good stuff with a little newborn. So, and then
Well,
of course my oldest, not he's still in diapers too. Yeah.
wow.
So
your first airplane ride, you were 3 weeks old. You
wow.
were you were 3 weeks old, and you were born in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Yes, I
You
Yes.
went
was.
home. You
Little
went home.
wahine, little
She's
wahine.
a little wahine. She's a little. That's what Grandpa called her, my little
he,
wahine.
he sure
And
did.
your 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 dad went to the field for 30 days, and your grandma and grandpa came over, and your uncle
Mhm,
and grandpa and my brother Morris. They had to go back, and so they
mhm.
went back, and then we were like, what are we going to do for the next month, and so grandma said, I'll pay your ticket if you want to go home. And I said, okay.
I would say yes too. I would
Yeah,
say in a
Ah,
heartbeat.
I'll go. I want to go home. So we did. We went, and you were 3 weeks old, and we stayed for 4 weeks. We went
mhm.
back home with grandma, and then you and I flew back to Honolulu, Hawaii.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
goodness.
Yeah. We've done a lot of those travels with the little ones.
Uh-huh.
So my oldest was 4 months old when we flew from Japan to the United States. For the first time to introduce her to the family, we had to go to two different complete states. So we were flying in between to visit
Yes,
the whole family. So we
yes.
did a international flight. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a comet, Hale Bopp, I think it was.
Yeah, Hell
Uh,
Bop.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was going on when we were on the plane. And I remember our pilot telling us you could look out the window to the left because we were on the right hand side of the plane. If you look out to your left, you could actually see it, but don't everybody go to the left. Everyone take turns. And
Well,
so
your
that was a lot of
sister
fun.
did her high school senior picture
She sure did.
with a little
She
green alien in honor of the Hale Bop
Yeah.
Yes, she did. Well, that
incident.
was a big thing
Oh
for
yeah,
her senior year.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like to tease her. She's like, Mom, I was putting that on her birthday, on Facebook every year, and she's like,
Yes.
Mom, take that down. Don't use that. That's terrible. I'm like, hey, you're the one that posed with another stuffed animals for your senior picture, goofy girl. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
So,
love her sense of humor. She brought
oh
that
yeah.
picture.
Well,
So after she graduated from high school, everybody pitched in and helped pay for her to come to Japan
Mhm.
for me when I had my second child. And she brought that to me, and she and I just laughed about that picture. That was so
oh,
fun.
and
That
this and
girl got to do some serious traveling because she got to
she
stay with
did.
me for 4 months, I believe, in Japan and 4 months in England. So she graduated from high school. She came to Japan. She graduated college and she came to England. So she
Yes.
got to do some fun trips, that
What
Mhm.
girl.
what what was funny is the going to Japan was her first flight ever.
Hmm.
And I was totally freaked out about it because I mean, just thinking about putting a baby on an airplane and going that far all by herself, and she's
So you didn't worry
totally
about me
green.
going by myself. You put
You
her
were
on.
more
You were married.
I
You were
did an
You're a
married.
married
international
lady,
flight.
and
Oh, goodbye,
you're married
goodbye.
lady.
You are
Yeah,
worried about
you're.
her with her
I
sister
never.
on the other
Well,
end
honestly,
waiting.
I never worried about you.
I
But
will
the
say this.
second, yeah,
Can I say this?
Mhm.
I will say this, Glinda. We cannot repeat. This is a family-friendly video uh, channel. But she did get upset when you left, and
Oh,
and it was an incident in the
in
airport,
the
and we
when
will
I
not
got
go there. So
married.
was she upset?
When I got married, she was very upset. We won't go in
Very
details on what
upset.
was said. It was pretty
oh, I
hysterical.
had a breakdown in the airport.
You
Ye
had a brain. Yeah, you had a
I
Yes,
breakdown.
had a breakdown in the
you
airport.
absolutely
You did not
did.
want your baby to go.
And get married. Unfortunately, so my husband had orders.
Mhm.
He had tried to stay in the United States.
Yes.
Unfortunately, his first assignment was Japan, which was not in our deck of cards, not what we had planned as a couple,
Mhm.
because we had planned on staying in the United States, taking our time, having a proper wedding, grandpa marrying us in
Yes.
the church with both families, to be able to be
The
in
whole big thing.
attendance. Yeah, we
Yes.
planned on a full on wedding. But when the military calls and they're like, there's a course change.
Mhm.
Yes, I had to fly down to where he was at, and
Mhm.
then we got married,
Yes.
which upset my mom. Unfortunately, not
Only because I was
because
happy. I
you wanted,
wasn't
but
happy.
because you wanted to be there.
Oh
You
yeah, I
wanted to,
mean, it was just that's, and it's
it
under,
broke your heart.
I
It broke your
understand.
heart.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
and
hard, but
mom has always been supportive. I want to make that super clear, but you just
Oh yeah.
couldn't be there.
it was just I was happy. I was really happy for you, but I
Absolutely,
was
you
like,
were.
I was so tore up because you were leaving, actually leaving and going to get married, and you were gonna eventually, very quickly, leave the nest, and it was tough. I had a very
Oh,
hard time
absolutely, absolutely, and
when you left. I
yes.
mean, I could cry now. And that's why in the airport, me and my gal pal, we were girlfriends, but it was now she's my gal pal.
Oh, I know that the words on everything
Best friend, I
changes.
know, have
Your
to be
other
Yeah.
sister.
PC. But
Your other
anyhow,
sister. Yeah.
she went with me, and
Mhm.
we dropped you off the airport, and I just
You
Yeah.
lost it.
I
You lost
lost
it.
it. I
Yeah.
lost it. And
Yeah.
and then we got to the bathroom and I lost it again, and she went, "Ann, what's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Boo." And then
Snap.
we laughed. Her and I laughed. I mean, we laughed for that whole ride home, an hour. And then now your
Mhm.
sister, number 2, when I dropped her off and when she went to college, and like
Yeah.
it was like 110 miles from the house, right?
From
Uh-huh.
that, from where we live.
From my front door to her dorm, because it was 110 miles. And in between, halfway, there's a restaurant we always stopped at,
Mhm.
But I made that trip back and forth that 100 miles 100 times. And but anyhow, I sobbed. I'm like, yeah, yeah, we got all of her stuff moved into her dorm room and everything. She's happy. And oh, mom, this is, and she's excited. And I'm like, yeah, honey, it's going to be great. I get in my car. Mm,
Yeah, it's another
meltdown.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another meltdown. It's tough when your kids leave. It is. It's
I
very,
think
very
Glinda
tough.
knows. I think
I do
Glinda
know.
knows.
I
Yeah,
actually
and
do
yeah,
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a meltdown with all 3 of mine, but now not the same manner that you had your meltdown.
Well,
I kinda hid away because I knew I didn't
You
I
knew
knew
what
not to
not
be
to
like,
do.
yes, I hid
Yeah,
away and I
don't do it in
cried.
public,
Yes, walk
where
away.
everybody can see you. From one moment, you're laughing hysterically to the next one, I was sobbing hysterically.
Yeah.
It was
well,
like,
I had one this week, a meltdown, and
"Yes, you
so
did."
Anne and
It's all
I,
good.
we tend, Glinda. We're of that generation that just lets her rip wherever it is, and we just melt down.
Yeah.
Um,
D
and we're very your mother is very reserved and always has been, but boy, when it hits us, you know what? Look out, emotions just fly.
You know what? That's what makes us human. We're not robots.
No, we're
We are
not.
human and we
Right.
have emotions. And,
Yes.
I think it's, as I tell people all the time, it's okay to cry. It's okay. If
Well,
you didn't, I'd be concerned about you. If you're pinning all that emotion up,
it
you
wasn't okay this week for me to cry, and I'll show everyone why. This week, it was not a good idea for me to have a meltdown.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
let's address this.
yeah, I
You
I
had
had
eye
um
surgery.
I had eye surgery 2 weeks ago, and I'm doing well. I mean, but this is with makeup on. I tried to
And
cover it
it's
up.
looking beautiful. I can see the results of your eyes, Aunt
You can
Lynn,
see
and it's
I
going
am
to be
so
absolutely
happy.
beautiful.
Thank you. Do they bother me? Yes, they itch, they're healing, they're
it will for a
sore,
while. Yeah.
and they get very tired real easily. Sorry.
Right.
So yeah, this was not the week to have a
No,
meltdown.
No,
no,
I
but
had to like, you know, quit
Get me off.
crying. You're gonna
Get me
make.
off
And I
the.
told her, I said, "You're making me mad. You're not supposed to cry."
well, then she's going to start crying because you're mad at her. Don't do that.
I know. I'm like,
Start
and
telling
I'm
jokes.
yelling though. You have to ice your eyes. Ice your eyes.
Okay, well,
Get
then you
some
make a
ice on your
joke.
eyes.
What you do is you go in and you get some ice and then you dance. And then you dance, and then you stick them on your eye. You have to do something crazy. You don't
I know.
yell at
So
her.
I'm
Well,
happy.
anyhow, the situation turned out a-okay.
Oh,
It
everything's.
did.
It always is.
It
It's just. It
it
always
I
is.
is.
know, and that's the thing, right? You
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
we all have situations and problems that come up, but
Mhm.
if at all possible, don't freak out because it always turns out usually okay. Or,
Well, you know
you
what though? I
know,
think that, again, back into you're human. I mean, sometimes
oh
the body
yeah.
just takes over, and it's easier said
Oh
than
yeah.
done. And
Oh,
I think
yeah, it
having
is.
that loving support system in place is so
Usually
important.
I'm not loving. I'm usually stop crying.
Call me Aunt Lynn when you need some loving
I
support.
do. You know I
know
do.
you're safe, people.
Here's what happens. I go. Here's what happens, everyone. Glenda, tell me
Yes.
what's wrong. Go ahead. Let me know right now. She knows the moment I go,
What is
Glenda.
it? I go, what is it?
She goes,
Well,
what is it?
I
And
do,
then we go. Yeah. So
because
I
I
do
just
have
know.
another. I
And
have the
we talk it
compassionate.
through.
I have the compassionate one I can talk to once in a while.
But then when you need the you call the drill sergeant. No, I'm just teasing. I'm
We
I'm just
both can
that's a
be drill
joke.
sergeant. She was a drill
I can.
sergeant.
Well,
I've
I can
moved
too.
troops before. Yes. I've
Yes.
moved troops. Yes.
You
I've been
Yeah.
wore
called.
combat boots.
I did.
Well,
Yeah.
All
that
right,
there is
moving
this.
on. What's your next little
Oh,
So
what do you
I
want
want
to
to
talk
play.
about?
I want to play a little game. We're gonna switch this up just a little bit. I have my
Okay.
flower pot because I love gardening, and it is a beautiful.
Yes.
oh,
Now, Aunt Lynn,
yes.
you are a sale nut, are you not? Hmm.
Yes.
So I paid $1 for this at Michael's.
Oh, oh, it
At
might.
Michael's?
They had them
You
on
did
clearance.
Oh
very,
my
very
goodness.
well.
I,
You
I
did
ha-
very
I've been
well.
waiting to tell people how much I paid for my little
What was it
flower pot.
originally?
You
Was
go
a
to.
sticker on there? Do you know?
No, there's no sticker, but
I
I
bet it
paid it.
was
Oh,
I bet it was
I
$15
should
at
say
least.
14.99. That would be my
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
And
me too.
actually, we could be off. It could have been 17.99
I don't remember.
because
I
they
just
are
fell in love
very
with
more
them.
expensive than what we usually think.
Well,
So
you
very
got a
good
great deal for a buck.
grasshopper. Very good grasshopper.
Very good, very
Yeah.
good.
So I don't use it for flowers. I just use it for my game. So
Okay.
it's clean. All right. So before we get started, there is no wrong answer. Okay. You are allowed to skip on the question if you feel that it's uncomfortable. There shouldn't be anything like that. But you are allowed to skip.
Okay.
And I want to hear it from both of you guys.
Okay.
Okay, so not just so don't just one person answer. I want you both to answer. Okay.
Now, Anne,
Who
you go
goes first?
go first on the first one, then I'll go, then you go. So you
Well,
start out.
okay.
Okay.
So, what is your favorite carb? Bread, pasta, rice, or potatoes? And I know you can't eat a lot, but I still want to know what your favorite is.
Hmm. Well, for me, it's going to be either bread or a potato because I like baked potatoes. I like scalloped potatoes, but I like all kinds of bread, which right now I'm not eating bread and very little potatoes. Can I say it's equally bread and potatoes?
There's no wrong answer.
Okay.
Okay, what's yours?
Bread.
Bread. Mine is Ezekiel bread right now.
There you go.
Yeah, bread's
Oh,
a staple.
this is a good one for you. Okay, considering you're
Me?
older. Yeah, for both of you,
Oh,
considering you
Lynn.
both are older. Okay,
Oh. Oh, yeah.
fill in the blank.
Oh boy.
Taylor Swift is.
A little stinking brat.
You're just a minute. Just a minute. You're out of order. I
Oh.
Yeah.
answered. It went you, then me. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm
No,
sorry.
You
let's go you, me. No, no. Let's go you, me. You. All right. So that's your answer. That's not
really?
very
I am
nice.
not a Taylor Swift person. I could
Okay.
do I did she's not in
She's
my
not
I
your
got one.
jam.
I
Okay,
got
go
one
ahead.
better. I
No.
got one better. You ready?
Okay. Yes.
Sorry. Taylor Swift. Who?
Oh, exactly.
Snap.
Sorry.
Okay. Are reindeers real creatures? Aunt Lynn, go answer that first.
Yes. I've seen
Okay.
them.
Okay. Mom.
Yeah, they really are.
Okay.
That
All
is
right.
true.
All right, Mom. What's for dinner tonight?
I haven't figured it out yet. This is Saturday night. Probably be something real easy. I do
Okay.
have some fish in the freezer. Might be pot pies. I don't feel like cooking tonight
Ooh, that sounds
because I
good.
made big breakfast this morning.
Mhm, mhm.
Like, you didn't invite me?
Well, get in the car and I'll make
I
you breakfast.
I want breakfast. What's for dinner, Aunt Lynn?
Since I actually haven't had lunch yet, and I splurged today. I made homemade waffles and maple sausage patties. So that was a large.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was real. Get this. Ah, what a difference. Real maple syrup. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes.
So and then cameraman makes the best. I let him do this. He makes the best tuna fish ever. So when
Mm.
I get off in a little while, I am going to have my tuna fish sandwich. And then tonight, seriously, will probably just be snacks.
I was say because it's already
But
in the
light.
Yeah,
afternoon.
it'll be munchy stuff tonight. Munchy.
All right. I don't know what we're doing. I got to go to the grocery store and I will
Oh,
figure this out. We have meats in the house, but I can't I got to figure out what I'm going to put together. Maybe fajitas is what I'm thinking.
I made
Steak
some of
fajitas.
those last week. I just love them.
Hmm.
Mm.
Chicken.
So sourdough or wheat?
Who's this for?
Whoever wants to answer.
Wheat.
Okay.
Sourdough. I've
Okay.
had I've had San Francisco sourdough. Sourdough.
In San Francisco.
Yeah.
I've made sourdough twice this week and
Or
it
You
is
I'm
so
so
what
good.
I'm
what
going
do
to
you
see you
prefer?
tomorrow. I'm seeing you tomorrow.
I am hopefully going to have sourdough ready for tomorrow. I've got the starter fed and I will get it together tonight. So I'm hoping it'll be ready for tomorrow.
So
So
Glenda, for
sourdough,
you, Glenda, sourdough or wheat?
sourdough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I go through kicks right now. It's
I
sourdough.
like pumpernickel
I
too.
will say that I love I can't have it the
You
seeds,
can't have it because of the seeds.
but you know what I do like? Our
Hmm.
mom made beer bread,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just a can of beer. You can use non-alcoholic beer, it doesn't matter. but it's beer and self-rising flour and butter.
It was
I
good.
can eat a whole loaf of that. It's so good.
How many times did you sneeze in the last 7 days?
10.
None.
Okay.
None.
I rarely
I
sneeze.
5 or 6 times. Of course, I have to take allergy meds.
Dave has sneezed a lot.
Me too.
His allergies.
Oh,
And
right.
his
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Anne's been after me because
Uh-huh.
I've had postnasal drip real bad. And do
Yeah.
you hear me going today?
I haven't.
I'm using what the doctor told me to use, just so you know.
Okay.
Good.
Yay.
It solved it.
Okay,
Well,
so
duh.
if diet weren't in the factor, what's something you could eat for a week straight?
Anything chocolate.
I am ready
Cake.
for okay, chocolate is I would go
Fudge.
with lobster and butter.
Oh, I hadn't. Oh, you really think
She
I
went
want lobster.
gourmet.
that
If
would be
I could
awesome.
afford it, I mean, hey, we're just daydreaming, right? Might as well
Yeah,
daydream
yeah,
big.
might as
Oh,
well.
that's good. That's really good.
Lobster with just butter.
Oh,
That sounds
I mean, we're just,
awesome.
yeah.
hypothetically thinking.
This one's gonna be fun. Say "good day, mate" in an Australian accent. Sorry, Daz.
Go ahead, Anne. I'm getting. You said say hello.
Say basically "good day, mate."
Good day, mate. This probably
Yeah.
more sounds like a pirate.
Arr.
Good day, mate. Good. I have no clue.
Good
I
day,
have no
mate.
idea.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
I'm going to go on a walkabout.
You're gonna
Good
go
day,
and
mate.
walk
Get the
about.
bobby.
you
How
want
about
some
the
shrimp on the Barbie?
bobby?
They don't say that. That's what's
Well,
funny.
Crocodile Dundee. Just saying,
All right. So if you
Good
could
day, mate.
ask God one question and he would answer, what would it be?
Oh, and one of your people recently said, and that was a great question, as I best remember. Yeah.
Go ahead, Lynn.
I have to think. I don't.
Oh, I do. It's funny
Go ahead.
because I was thinking this earlier today.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. But if I say it, people will think
oh.
I'm nuts. So I
You're
don't
not
know.
nut. Well, okay. Well, then think of a different question.
Yeah, let's go to a different It's pass.
Okay. But yeah, well, no, I mean, it's okay. So when I was a kid, we saw something and I would like to know
Oh,
why.
yes. Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. Fair
Why
enough.
did we see something?
Okay.
Sure.
I
That's a
would
good
like
one.
to know why. That's a good question. Our family has seen different things.
As a
Um,
family.
as a family, we have had different experiences from other people as a family, and then our parents have had godly experiences. The other ones, I'd say, were natural experiences, but yeah, but our parents have had supernatural experiences, and I guess you'd
Well, I
say
kind of
why
think we did,
why us?
so
Yeah, we
I mean,
did.
there were
Why?
7 people and we all saw something at the same time.
Hmm.
And I just have always wondered for all these
Why?
years,
Hmm.
why?
Why us? Yeah, why
Why
us?
did we see this thing?
Hmm.
So,
That's a good
Yeah,
question.
and it's
That's
not. There's always, you can always say why, and I never question like that.
no,
No,
but that is
but
something
this
I
is
do
good.
want to know.
Yeah.
If I get a
good.
chance, I want to know how come.
Why? Yeah, that's a good one. That's a
Okay.
good one.
And
All
yes,
right.
people are probably going, was it a UFO? Yeah, it was.
Hmm.
I wasn't alive during this time. Wouldn't even
Oh,
thought
I
about it. So I
was
wasn't
9
there.
years old, almost 10. We were kids. but
Mhm.
I
I was a
have
little older.
always
Mhm.
remembered it. Haven't you, Lynn?
Okay. So now my next question is, would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to speak to animals?
Mm.
Animals.
Aunt
If I
Lynn?
was, I would say being able to speak every language would have such an advantage, though, to people.
Does that include animals?
Every language.
Every language.
I would I'd really like to speak every language to every person, I think.
Hmm,
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? If you
okay.
just if you just automatically knew what they were saying and you were able to answer. I think it would be sensory overload. I don't know.
Mhm.
Don't know.
Okay. So name one of the seven dwarfs.
Dopey.
Sleepy. Chew. Sneezy.
Okay, this is a good one. If you could travel back in time, what period would you go to?
Wow. Wow.
Well, I'm a romantic, so
Mhm.
I'd want to go back. Not quite Victorian. I'm not really into Victorian, but I am into prior to the Victorian age. I'm
The
more.
Okay.
Edwardian,
I'm a romantic.
Edwardian, I think, right?
Yeah.
Edwardian. Yeah, if you could live upstairs, if you were
Yes.
the people
Don't want to live
upstairs, not
downstairs.
downstairs. Yeah, I would say that probably too, as long as I was upstairs and didn't live downstairs, you
Yeah.
know. Mhm.
So my thought
Or
with it, for me, I would either like to go back in time to see Henry VIII
Okay.
because
yeah.
I like his story so much. I think in being a caregiver for somebody with a traumatic brain injury and then looking at what happened to Henry VIII and him getting his head hit and then he kept marrying and beheading, well, he beheaded two of his wives.
Yes.
I would actually like to see why, like, and I think maybe that's just the weird caregiver perspective in me. It's like, well, we know about brain injuries.
Right.
What I wanted to see what happened to his brain,
Huh.
or I would like to go back into the Hatfield and McCoy time frame.
Oh,
Man, that's kind of
wow.
violent, isn't it? I'm a little bit of
Yeah.
a violent person.
Well, I
I
like the
just
Wild
want
West.
I
So
just want somebody to wait on me hand and foot all the time.
yeah.
You let's see here. You want to be like if you could go back in time and be with anybody, you would want to be with the queen.
I would
You
want to
know,
be
so
the queen.
you want to be the queen.
Be the queen.
Remember, Alicia had that little.
Yes.
Oh,
I've forgotten it,
I've
but
been doing the wave for a very long
yeah.
time. It just doesn't mean anything to anybody. Nobody cares. Nobody
Nobody
cares.
cares. So my next question is talking or texting, which is great for your generation. I love this one.
Talking.
Talking.
Mhm.
Do not like to text.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
rather use email because then I can use a keyboard to type.
Oh, I like
Texting, I
that.
don't I cannot do like I see this, boom,
Uh-huh.
boom, boom, boom. I can't do with both thumbs.
Mhm.
Um, I just do one thumb, one finger at a time. But
Mhm.
I see everybody else, and they're just doom, 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 and I'm like, gee whiz, how do you do
You and
that?
I can type though on a typewriter.
Yeah, I'd rather type on the keyboard. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
We learned typing
email.
in class, right?
Oh yeah. Hmm.
I did too, and I learned the data, so I've got the numbers too.
Oh well,
Yeah.
good grief, that was my job for eons. That's
Right?
why. That's why you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is the best age?
I hate to tell you, but you're already past it.
Okay, go ahead. I think that it's an opinion.
It's an opinion. For me, I think it was about 36, 37, 38.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, because I was still, um, in good shape. For me, I was in pretty good shape then, physically. And then I don't know, I don't know, you're not a kid anymore. You can do what you want to do. My kids were older. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just think that I felt good. 36 cuz 37, 38 cuz
Okay.
yeah, for me. How
Okay.
about you, Lynn?
Well, technically, when I was like 16 and give and take a few years each side, we were raised on a horse farm, racehorse farm. Those were I was horse crazy. I loved our horses. I worked really hard. So I mean, those have good memories attached to them. But probably 25 in that age group, I enjoyed probably.
Okay. Okay. Dawn or dusk?
Dawn.
Dusk.
Oh, we're on opposite ends.
Because
We
I'm
are.
an early birder. You know what time I get up today? 4
What?
o'clock in the morning. And I had 8 hours of sleep last night.
Okay, so my last question is, are you ready for Christmas?
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
I'm like Monday's I'm going to probably finish Monday.
All right.
Which this is what? Monday.
This is Monday. So you're
So
going to be finishing today.
Yes, I have to go to town today because so I'm going to probably finish it today because I have everything else done.
Well, can I explain, Glinda, the way that our family handles Christmas mainly?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think
now
it's so unique and different. Absolutely.
within each family, with like in Glinda's family, she has children and grandchildren, a grandchild. So she does things different. She still purchases for her family. Um, just different things like that. So within the dynamics, each family, probably still buys for obviously their own kids and things like that. But in our family, when we come together about a week before Christmas, and we eat the fam. It's actually Anne's family is the main bulk of it, and that's who it is. It's Anne's family.
And yes, it's my
And
mother.
and
Yes.
then, yeah, and,
Mother,
Well,
mutter.
there's a lot of us, I
we
think,
come together.
through
Yeah,
there's just a lot. Yeah.
and so what we do as a family, we do not buy for the adults. We've done the draw a name, which is great, and I think that's great we did that for years. But now we do something called a family giveaway. And so all year you can you can glean things, you can yard sale things, you can say, hey, I don't want this anymore, but it's perfectly good. I'll put it in the box for the family giveaway at Christmas. So then we have all these items. We have food items because we have wonderful cooks and family and bakers in our family. We have knitters and crocheters in our family. And we have just people who get good sales in our family, and we bring all kinds of items. I mean, there can be fishing waiters for fishing. There can be fishing poles. There can be jams and jellies. There can be freeze dried items and homemade items,
Things.
and there can be store bought things. And we just have a ball. And we draw a number and we go around, and then pretty soon after everyone has about 3 items, then it's a free for all.
It's a lot of
And
fun.
then a good thrift store usually gets the bulk of things
What's left over.
over. So it's a win-win for thrift stores, and that help charities, and it's a win-win for our family.
But I
And
think
eat
the
lots
most
of good
important
food.
thing is that we get together as a family too. I
And
think
there's no
I
real
enjoy
pressure to
that.
spend a lot of
There
money.
is because there's every income level in our family,
Yeah,
and except
yeah.
for the millionaires, which we don't have any of those. But
Do we have
not
millionaires?
yet, not
We
yet.
can be
We will.
aspiring. We can
Maybe
aspire to that.
aspiring.
We're
Hey, if
aspiring
does anybody
millionaires.
in this chat know any millionaires that would like to come on over to our family? I mean,
Yes.
you can
We
answer the
need you.
question.
We
Yes,
will
we
adopt.
need you. We will
We need you.
cook for you. will can
I
for
have
you.
a
We will
daughter
sew
for
for
you.
you.
If you are a
Oh,
millionaire and
Lord.
a lonely man
She would
millionaire, I have one for
don't
you.
yeah, she'd be like, "Don't." But,
She'd be like, "No,
Oh, but,
no, thank you.
and then
This
this year, what's really cool is
millionaire." I think she
I got
wouldn't turn
su
him
you
down.
you know me, they just wanna give me money. People just give me money, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
So I mean stores, okay, guys, I'm just saying
she gets
Oh,
they give
yeah,
me
there's a
money.
credit.
drugstore that
There's they give me money to shop at their store.
you
So
keep
anyway,
getting
but
for well, you can tell about the
Yeah, and
coupons
so
every
before we
week.
go, I want yes, because I
I
wanna talk
actually am
about
going
this.
I went the other day, which would be Saturday. I went to the drugstore and I have every about 10 days, I receive $4.
Mhm.
So my laundry soap, when their laundry soap is on sale, which is like every day that I go there, it's $3.99. So I have not bought it's a 64, it's one of those Whopper ones. I can't even pick it up. It's pretty heavy. And I get that for free. So, or I'll buy coffee and
Yeah.
give a couple bucks, $2 in my $4, and I get a coffee on
And
sale.
this has been going on now for over a year, right?
Yes.
Well, and then Glinda has a video that has 1.2 thousand views, and it's a true story. We were together for we did a girls'
Girls.
weekend
Mhm,
getaway.
mhm,
Glinda and I went, and
mhm.
about that time, my coupon binged in, and so I had my coupon, and we went in, and it was of all things, it was buy one set of 6 rolls of paper towel.
Yep,
Get this, guys,
we got
buy
3 of those.
one and get two free.
Mhm.
Who does that? I
No.
went into Walmart last year just before Christmas. Seriously, I walked in. This is God, guys. He just blesses you, and He'll bless anyone. And I walked in, and the carts were a quarter.
Yep.
Everything in the cart was a quarter. I got beautiful aprons to take to the giveaway. A quarter. The Bic lighters with the big long thing on it. A quarter.
Well,
I
when you were here, when you
And I
guys
went
came up
in
to see
April
me,
to see you. And what
yeah,
happened when we walked in
well, we
Walmart? I had
walked
to go to
into
Walmart.
Walmart, yeah, and they had discounted all of these purses
Purses and things
for
that
a
you take.
dollar.
Yeah. So and
Oh, yeah,
wallets
they
for a
had
dollar
been 20 it had been 29.99,
nine,
been
and we paid
$30.
$1. Yeah.
So I
Wallets
So
have a
and
series
purses.
idea for your channel. I
what's that?
seriously do. Series idea. And if you don't jump on it, Mom, I'm gonna pull Aunt Lynn. It's gonna be what savings does Aunt Lynn find?
Ooh, that's a
We
good
can
one.
Well, now
rename.
she's Lynn is the expert because I do
So
not get these. I
I
don't get them
know
like she
you need
does.
to follow. We need to be following her because in today's economy, things are so
You
off.
have
You gotta follow Lynn.
And I really think Aunt Lynn has some knowledge on this. And I
Yeah.
think we need to do a series either on the Aunt Lynn show or on Grace and Fire because I mean, I'm not that far.
no.
But
Oh,
if
I
you
have a
don't
new
pick
one
up
now.
on it, I'm going to start filming her because you guys, if you
Oh,
want to
no, you
know
go ahead. If you go ahead, if you're together,
if
you do it.
if you want to see some savings in action, you go
'Cause
hang
Just
out
let
with
she
Aunt Lynn.
she
And
has
that's
the
no
golden
lie.
touch.
That
Yeah.
that really is no lie because I can't even get close to although
oh,
my dollar
I think
pots,
you did wonderful. I'm
you
so proud of
know,
you.
I mean, hello, the dollar.
I have
But
one I have one son.
honestly,
I have a son that when he was around me, he's younger than his other brother, who left
he's the
home,
youngest. Uh-huh.
and he's like, I don't pay mom, I don't pay retail. I've learned. And so,
Yeah.
but I don't know, it's just and I want to tell everyone, if you have a library in your area, there are something sometimes called Friends of the Library, and they'll have a bookstore. And I am just going to say that's a good source to buy almost usually practically brand new books that people
Mhm.
donate to your friends. Check out your friends. I pay $1. I just bought an Amplified Bible and a Message Bible, and because they're hardback, I paid $1, and
Oh,
a
wow.
and probably never even opened. Seriously, they bought and
Yeah.
maybe they got them as a gift, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm able to like buy children's books for a quarter. And I, of course, I mean, I worked at a library. So you all don't think anything of going into a library and checking a book out. Well, check out the Friends. And then, I clean them, I sterilize them before I give them to children, obviously, my children in the family. But I'm telling you, there's just blessings everywhere if we look for them.
There really is. There really is. But I think you have a talent.
She does.
And I'm being really
Yeah,
serious.
it's a
It's
gift.
pretty amazing, and I
I
think
never
you've got
know.
some wisdom to share with those of us, because I know couponing is a thing. I get it, but let me tell you, there are times that you don't really like, how to shop, and sometimes you're not using coupons, and you can walk right in, and you get those deals, and you know
Yeah.
when to stock up. And I think if we
Mhm.
really that's a series right there. I've been thinking that for
Okay.
a long time.
Wow.
Well, Lynn, you got to start filming yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
by the time this airs, I will have gone, so I do not know what I am going to purchase.
Well,
But
take your phone out
I
and
can,
or
I can
and
tell, I can tell you this. Since it's getting close to Christmas, I love to, it says it's more blessed to give than receive. It's very
oh
nice
yeah.
to receive. I enjoy. Glenda blesses Carmen and I, and when her husband bless us with eggs, I love. When the girls are laying, I mean, they just bless us, and so I enjoy receiving. Okay, but I like to give too, and it's fun, and
You do.
I can afford to give when I hardly did, paid anything. I mean,
It,
it's fun to be able
you
to do
know,
that, and it just keeps coming
at
back. It's
this
like a wheel, just comes
Right.
back
Yeah.
around.
and it does. And at this time of year, you can give of your time.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Go visit somebody, in the hospital
yes.
or in the
Give a
nursing home.
smile. It doesn't matter if it's
Smile. Say good morning,
Make
you
some
know.
cookies and take it to somebody
yes, make some
Sure.
cookies. Yeah, yes.
during the
Um,
holiday season.
you
Hmm.
know,
But,
my neighbors just make a small gift. Go and get a mug and put some hot chocolate packs in it. Put a pretty bow on it. Maybe stick a Dollar
Some
Tree
freeze
candy bar.
dried marshmallows. I'm sorry.
You know,
That's-
I'm really thankful that
Mhm.
people are blessed to be able to give nice gifts. That's a blessing. God bless you. We did that, but when you're retired, you have to be more creative as you retire. I think too.
Absolutely. It's a whole different level.
Whole different
Um,
income level.
yes,
It's all
that's what
different.
I mean. Yes. Yeah, yeah. The retirement or even the disability. It's
Yes,
totally,
a
it's a
little
but
different
different.
it
life.
doesn't cost anything to smile at somebody and say,
No.
"Good morning,"
I
"Good
Absolutely.
talk to
afternoon."
And little kindness goes a long way in
Kindness.
today's
And
world. I mean, it
guys.
really, really does.
yeah.
I
That
got
it's
into a
about giving people grace that you wish that
yes,
people would give you.
yes, yes,
Give it
yes.
to somebody that,
I
a stranger.
I got
Invite
into
somebody over for dinner.
yeah, I got in a conversation though with a stranger over produce yesterday at Walmart. I
Oh,
mean, and you know what? We said Merry Christmas to each other when we left. We actually said the word Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Good.
which
Good,
is
good,
good.
good.
And there have been times that I've gone through coffee shop drive-throughs and have just
Yes.
paid for the person behind me. I'll just find
Yes.
out what it is
Yeah,
and just
pay it
go,
forward. Paying it
and
forward.
drive away and go, Lord, just bless them today, and angels
Yeah.
around about them. I'll just say a little prayer and I'll just go on.
Well,
Yeah.
this time I can I give a plug to a channel?
Absolutely.
It's East Idaho News. East
Oh, I've
Idaho.
never heard of them.
Oh, I've been watching them now for a few years. There
Okay.
is okay, they're in East Idaho, obviously, and
Mhm.
it's a news, Nate works for the news department, and they have an anonymous giver who last year gave $1 million away, and this year again is giving $1 million away. And people, excuse me, people wrote in.
Go ahead. It's okay.
People wrote in and wrote to the Secret Santa and said, my neighbor, my son, whatever, could use some help this year, could use a little boost this year. And so every they come on, and Nate and his crew get to go and knock on people's doors, and the Secret Santa has picked out something specific for that person.
Wow.
It's amazing. I cry. I know. There I go, Anne. I cried this morning.
No crying, but so okay. So what is it? East Idaho News.
East
We
Idaho
need to
Secret Santa.
Yeah.
And Nate and his crew, they get to go and like you say, not go to schools and find the custodian or find the teacher, or they go to wherever. And the other day, they went to a mother, single mother raising 4 children. One of her children, her daughter, is deaf, and she's had cancer, and she's going through treatment. And they knocked on her door, and the Secret Santa had some gifts for her and her family. So it's just so uplifting this time of year to see that someone wants to make sure that, someone else has a little bit of cheer for their Christmas this year.
And I'll tell you, I'll just share this story. I have been on the receiving end of this myself. Mm-hmm. So when we lived at my husband's last duty station, I want to say it was like the Friends of the name of the base that we were at. Mm-hmm. Several people businesses got together. There was 5 of them, and they adopted our family, and my husband was in the hospital. Mm-hmm. So my last Christmas there, I didn't have to think about presents that year, although I had some under the tree for my kids, but it was a lot to deal with dealing with that combat wounded warrior stuff, going to the medical appointments, raising the kids, living thousands of miles away from home. I had no support physically there. I had emotional and that kind of like, when you get here, we're taking you in. I had that, but not actually in Tucson. And so, shopping for Christmas presents was the last thing I thought of. And when I found out we got adopted by 5 businesses, I mean, that just blew my socks off. And I'll never forget that morning sitting down with the kids. My husband was actually in the hospital on Christmas morning, that last one that we were there. And so in the morning, we opened up all those presents, and to see the joy on those kids' faces was, it was something that just blessed me, and knowing that I had that help. So I can tell you what it's like to be on that receiving end, and I have never forgotten about it. And I wish I lived close enough now, because I would love to be able to give back to them in some way, shape, or form. So I pay it forward in different ways here, but I have never forgotten that. And then that actually, after we got done wrapping up presents, I left my kids at home, which were old enough. I mean, we were babysitting age, with the oldest. And I went to the hospital on Christmas. So for a couple of hours, just to check on him and make sure he was getting all of his treatment. And then I came back home. That Christmas was very difficult. So to have that kind of support in such a difficult time, and you don't know everything that's going on with a family, and some may just not have finances to pay for Christmas. Some may be dealing with medical, I can tell you, just it's amazing feeling that you are left with for the rest of your life. And I don't take that stuff for granted. I absolutely, I don't. So it's an amazing feeling. And then the other thing, I know that there's the shoe box that you can do presents and they send it off. That's a really neat program out there. So to be looking for those in your churches.
Yeah, we are not doing the shoe boxes, but we are doing, it's like called a reversed Advent. And every day of the month, then you're to put together, you have items. There's about maybe 30 or 35 different food items, shelf stable items, and you collect it all, but you just put it all together. And then we're going to drop it off. We'll take it to church on the 18th, and then all of that food will be taken to our local food bank.
Oh, I think that's
Oh,
fantastic.
So it
that's
was
wonderful.
all different kinds of things, a
Mhm,
can of this, a can of that, a box of
mhm,
this.
And that is an amazing gift too. I've been on that
Mhm.
receiving end as
Yep.
well.
So
I
yes,
this
mean,
is
we
and
have.
that's a blessing and a
Mhm.
half to be able to
Yep.
do Christmas.
So this is
People,
our
yeah,
second year doing it, and
it's
I
joy,
mean,
it's joy.
us, you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so it's a good feeling to be able to give back.
Right.
absolutely.
Very good feeling.
Well,
So,
and like you said,
Absolutely.
Glenda, we know, and Anne, we have been on the other end,
oh yeah.
many, 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 many years ago. You'll see on Facebook, do you remember this? And it'll be the old cheese and peanut butter and,
Yes.
Soup.
that grouping of commodities, it was called.
Yes.
Oh, the
Yeah,
government
The
stuff.
government.
yeah, in
Oh,
fact,
tell you
yeah,
what.
we've been on that end. So
Yes,
yes,
Yes.
we
yes,
have.
ma'am, yes,
It
sir.
helped.
We
Yeah.
do know.
Yeah.
We have. Mhm.
They say that the military, when you're active duty, oh, they make a lot of money
Oh,
and they're fine. They're financially sound and all that stuff.
oh,
Absolutely not true. My
no,
husband
Mm-mm.
and I qualified for welfare when he
yes,
Yeah.
was on active duty.
yes.
Well, I think we
And
did
we
too.
did we didn't get welfare because they held we where we lived at, they held the value of our car, which is $100 more
Yeah.
than the max. They held the value of our car over our head, which is why we didn't get welfare at that time. We thank
Yeah.
goodness for WIC because we got WIC,
Yeah. Mhm.
and that's what fed us in those difficult times. And then um, his
Same when
command,
you were a little girl.
yeah, the command would put our family in for the Christmas tree, the angel tree,
Yeah.
and then we would get turkeys and hams on those really difficult years, which we were not proud of, and we never told the family what was going on. We kept that all
No,
hush hush, but it was a very difficult time. So, just if
Well, it
you're
is and it is
active
in
duty, can
act,
qualify for welfare. It's
oh yeah,
happened for
when
years,
well and
years.
you when you were a little girl, it was this,
It
you
was the
don't
same
make
thing
much.
when I was
Yeah, the
little.
lower
Mhm.
ranks do not make,
no.
much.
No,
And
they don't.
so it was for us, he got paid once a month. So it was feast and then famine about the last week of the month. You're
Yes.
going through your cabinet trying to make some kind of a something, for dinner or whatever. And it really left me with back then, and that was like in the 70s, late 70s, with the impression that I never want to be without food again.
Yeah. Yes.
And every chance I had, I bought a little extra, bought a little
Yes.
extra, and
Mhm.
yeah, so I've always had full pantries because I never want to be in that position again. And if we can help somebody else,
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
we need to do it. And so with this
yeah.
being, the time of
The season of
holiday, the
giving.
season
Yes.
of giving, yeah, the holidays. So you can, if you have nothing to give, you have your time. You can go
So,
clean somebody's house or clean their car, or if it snows, go clean off their driveway. Look in on your local senior citizens and
Make a
give
I
it.
meal.
I volunteer twice a week for 3 hours, and I think I get so much more out of it.
Don't
I
cry.
give. I
Don't
know,
Don't
cry.
cry.
But you
but I
do. You
do.
get a
I
because you get to see people and you get to be with
I
them.
get so much more out than I
Yeah.
think I give. Although they tell me what a blessing I am because I'm there to do something, obviously,
Well,
that
you're
Yeah.
helping. Yeah,
I'm
you're
helping
helping.
them. Right. And I'm
So,
anyway,
Yeah, and
yeah.
the other thing I do, I think
so
that's what I like about being an urban homesteader is that I
yeah.
can grow the food and then preserve it in different ways. I think that my history with us qualifying for welfare and then also getting WIC in
Yes.
being so broke has taught me that the same thing that I don't
Yeah.
ever want to be without food. And I think being able
Yeah.
to be an urban homesteader and having the gardens and
Mhm.
the chickens and also knowing how to shop for a good deal too
Right.
to put that food on the shelves it's a blessing because I have 3 adult kids who are all married, and when they come home, they know that they are allowed to raid mom's pantry, and boy, they shop in my pantry. I call it 5-finger discount with the intention of bring the jars back because mom can't keep buying the jars.
No, and when we leave their house, I'm telling you what.
Yeah,
Cameraman and I are blessed out of our socks.
Yeah, everybody knows that, that garden was, I grew it for so many people, and I love to be a blessing.
And you inherited a garden this year.
I did. Well,
unexpectedly. Yeah, unexpectedly.
It was tomato again this year. I had too many tomatoes. Let me tell you, I got creative.
Cameraman loves the salsa and the peppers that you make him. So he's in salsa heaven,
Well, he needs more, he know where to get it off my shelves. There's always plenty. Well, you guys, I want to say thank you to the both of you for joining me today, and everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed to either of our channels, please come on over, and this is a lot of fun, you guys. So anyhow, and have a Merry Christmas. There'll be more videos, but I always like to, in the holiday season, make sure everybody knows Merry Christmas. So ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to take you out.
All right.
So, hey, I guess kisses.
I did want to say, I wanted to say, you will see us on the Ann Lynn show.
Oh, wait a second. Do we have
the official Ann Lynn show?
Are we picking back up?
Yeah, after the first of the year.
Make the announcement, Ann?
Well, we shall be back after the first of the year. So enjoy your holiday.
Yeah, we will see
a wonderful holiday.
We'll wish him a Merry Christmas
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah.
That's exciting news. That is music to my ears. The Ann Lynn show is coming back. Yes!
Yeah, we are planning. To be back at the first of the year, and with all new shows. And I think we're going to go back a lot of our
old school.
Our old school, get back to what we used to do a long time ago. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. And you just never know.
So if you're not a subscriber of the official Ann Lynn show, I've dropped the link in the chat. Go over, subscribe to them, and let them know that you saw them on Grace and Fire. So that way they know that I sent you. And be ready for after the first of the year, because these two are a hoot. And go back and check out some of the old videos too, especially the Granny's Rap. You need to go check that out.
Well, I got to be sure it's still out there.
It is. I checked it. And also,
the Granny Rap is,
the Granny Rap. And check out the God's Promises for You to get those little nuggets.
I am hoping that we're going to have more music.
Oh, fantastic. I think that's awesome.
You got to talk to somebody for me, Lynn.
I think that this is exciting, and
I think we may have some new characters join us.
Oh, I do believe that Mema's one of her grandsons, Bubba, is coming.
I think so. Oh, I think we're going to have we're going to have some special entertainment, but I hope is a regular.
And are we going to show off? Are we going to show off some of that hydroponics that you're doing?
I haven't started it yet because we have that trip that we're going to be seeing you at Christmas. And then I got to plot it out because it was going great, right? And so I did like a second round. I harvested everything, and then I did like a second round of stuff. And we took a trip, and I thought for sure, it was like 5 days, and I thought for sure it would be okay. When we got back, everything died. Yeah, like Lynn says, it was the dud. Well, how do you say that? Dud. It died. It died. Everything died. There was no water.
Well,
And
I think
so
that's about learning,
yeah,
and
yeah, so,
and
I
not
know I
giving up.
can't leave it for 5 days,
Okay.
maybe 4,
We'll talk about some ways after
All right.
this, that maybe that can keep it
keep
alive
it
just a little.
going
Well,
if you go on vacation.
I have some ideas for you.
Oh, good.
Okay. Hey, that's great. That may be a collaboration.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yes,
But,
and I
yeah,
was so proud of you, for doing a little gardening,
I
and I'd
did a
like to see.
little.
I'm gonna make a request that we see that again because I think that was pretty
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. I loved my tomatoes and my cucumbers. I had all the cucumbers I could eat. Dave doesn't eat them. He doesn't like tomatoes. I had all the little tomatoes I could
It's
want.
more for you.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Side bearing.
I grew just what I knew could do, and now I tried carrots, but they were kinda, like, about the size of my finger. They didn't get very big, but they were good, and, what else did I do? Oh, onions. I had green onions almost up to through October. I had them in a
That's good.
container.
That's good.
So it's
Well,
time to get that back up. Well, we're gonna get ready to
I hate to
go.
run, but I
That's
need to
okay.
run.
All right, you guys, we're actually gonna say goodbye. So I want to say thank you to everybody who joined both of the channels, and you guys make sure you give somebody a hug. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.